Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching on Monday the 9th of June. Certainly been a bit of a thundery morning, hasn't it, across the country. Don't forget that weatherweb.net is kept free of charge by you, so big thank you to you for keep on coming back and using the site. But that means that we can basically put more adverts in front of you, and it keeps it all free of charge and means that we can add extra stuff. So please carry on, tell your friends about what we're doing here. Cracking picture this morning from near Kings Winford, which is near Dudley in the West Midlands. This was ahead of a storm. This is sort of Mammatus going into undulatus cloud. Well, actually undulatus asperatus almost. Brilliant picture. This was sent in by Robert Morris at Ashwood Nurseries, taken by Christian there. And just a great picture. And what was going on behind that? Well, you can see it here on the lightning picture. This was the lightning sequence for the 6 hours through the course of this morning. And just look at these showers, at these thunderstorms, that came up through the Midlands, more through parts of Ireland as well. More here, look, passing up across northeastern parts of France into the Low Countries during the course of this morning. So some cracking storms around, and the radar picture looked like this as well during the course of this afternoon. That small area of showers that was over Wales this morning developing into this big area here this afternoon. Some mighty showers across parts of Ireland as well, and further big showers here, look, affecting the northeastern parts of France. But another feature on here I want you to look at is just within that area there. Look through the northeast Midlands, that line of heavy showers that develop. Those white colours there are indicating rainfall rates of more than 64 millimetres an hour. So some exceptionally heavy rainfall totals during the course of this morning. Well, it made it interesting, didn't it? As far as the rest of the week goes, there's today's chart, that front moving northwards through the course of the day, which is what brought the instability. Tomorrow looks like we get showers moving their way northeastwards. Most of the showers across Scotland, probably coming down through northwest England, Wales and parts of Ireland. But I am hopeful that eastern parts of the Midlands, East Anglia and South East England, as well as parts of North East England, probably staying dry through the day. Wednesday sees high pressure down towards the south here. Look, that builds northwards, bringing most of us a dry day on Wednesday. It may just be a few showers clipping the far north of Scotland. Thursday, high pressure down to the south once again, drier conditions, but the front you see here bringing some cloud and some drizzle across western Scotland and western Ireland, maybe a little bit for southwest Scotland and northwest England, perhaps even a little bit across western parts of Wales as well. But it's basically a fine day on Thursday for many central and eastern and southern areas. The sun coming through and starting to feel very warm as well. So again, you see very little rain. Friday, a few showers coming in behind the cold front that slips its way southeastwards, most of them for Scotland and for northern parts of England, drier elsewhere and warm as well. Cooler through Saturday, the front you see here just coming onto these eastern coasts, producing some showers across eastern parts of Scotland, northeast England, but most other places look as if they are going to be in for a dry and a fair day. And then for Sunday, much the same really. High pressure still in control during the course of Sunday. Front over northern Scotland may bring a little bit of rain here, but for most of us it should be fair. So what about further on? Well, this is the mean of the 7 to 10 day flow, valid from next Monday through to Thursday the 19th. You'll be familiar with the chart if you watch regularly. We've got the ECMWF here, we've got the GFS on the right, and it's basically showing us where heights are higher or lower than normal. Where it's redder is higher than normal heights, blue is lower than normal heights. Red equals, generally you think of it as high pressure at the surface, blue equals mainly low pressure at the surface. Now, ECMWF has this ridge built out towards the west, look, with the higher than normal heights, has got quite a marked trough in the Atlantic, which basically strengthens this ridge, but also that trough getting strengthened as well towards the east of the UK. Now the GFS makes less of the trough in the Atlantic, but it really majors on the ridge here, coming across the UK and into northeastern parts of North America. Now, there's not a huge difference between the two, particularly at this stage. It really does depend on what happens to this trough, and I must admit I lean more into this idea from the ECMWF rather than that idea from the GFS, and the ECMWF has been performing well recently, and the result of this would be that probably eastern areas prone to get a northerly flow, perhaps even northeasterly, bringing a few showers across the east from time to time. But more central and western parts of the country seeing the drier and the best of the weather because they're close to the high pressure there. Temperatures on this would be near normal across most places, but probably feeling quite chilly on eastern coasts of the UK given that wind. It'll be best of the weather is going to be found across Ireland. Now, as far as CFS goes, it seems to have come back into play, really. You need to turn your heads round for this forecast. The CFS week 1 shows us with a trough off towards the east here, shows higher than normal heights towards the west, which of course is what we've just seen is likely to be the case during the course of this week. But of course then we see the swap round next week, look, where we get the ridge, we get the higher than normal heights towards the east, the lower than normal towards the west, and it agrees on this 15th to 21st of June period of bringing in a north to northeasterly wind. So that means we can have fairly good confidence, fairly high confidence in what it's suggesting for week 3 from the 22nd to the 28th. And you notice here, look, it's trying to get a trough going again across the Atlantic here, bringing more unsettled conditions across Ireland, across western parts of the country. But part of the ridge breaks off and it's centred over the east, so the pattern would probably be something like that. And that would mean that probably southern England, perhaps the far east of England, the far east of Scotland, drier, nearer to that high pressure area, not completely dry, but I think we find bands of rain trying to butt into the west, just keep on coming in, but never quite making it right the way across the country. Now week 4 from the 29th of June to the 5th of July, looking like this. It says higher than normal heights to the south, lower than normal up towards the north, the trough here and a trough here. So we'd have a double feature, something like that going through. That setup would bring us some warm weather to end the month and some fine weather too for most of us. Always the risk of some showers, Northern Ireland, Western Scotland, Northern Scotland, but for most it's dry and it's fair. And that ties in with what we've been telling private clients. By the way, you can be a private client too. Just use the contact form at the top of the page to ask us about that service. We provide it to a whole range of people, from individual farmers right the way through to large multinational retailers and insurance companies. So let us know if you're interested. Click on contact us at the top of the page and we can let you know more. But anyway, that's what we've been saying. It was always this period from the 27th of June up to around about the 8th of July that we had down as a potential for a nice summer period. And interesting to see that the CFS is building on this. Now, just wanted to tease you with something. Look at this. This is a CFS output. Because we've got fair confidence in the CFS today, this is CFS precipitation anomalies for the whole of August. Near normal across most of the country. Where the greens are is wetter than normal, only slightly wetter than normal across the country to August. And that kind of backs up what we thought, was that actually the middle of July is probably when we start to lose. In fact, let's bring up July's rainfall for you. There's July. So near normal, as you can see, tending to hold on to the dry stuff out towards the east there. So drier out here, look across much of Central and Eastern Europe. But this is because this trough getting into the west. And we've got this disruption that kind of pushes rain southwards. So nearer normal rainfall totals through July. Most of that, I think, second half of the month. Now then, on to what was I going to show you next? Yeah, of course, I was showing you August, wasn't I? There we go. That's August, okay? So there's August and near normal rainfall totals again. What about September? Look at this. September, dry. Has a large anticyclone building across the UK in September. October, dry again. Remnants of that anticyclone still affecting most of the UK and Ireland. And also central parts of Europe, but less so. So I think what this was showing was that much of September, probably late August, much of September, dry, and then we go into near normal rainfall totals through much of the country in November, but still dry towards the south and the east with that high tending to hang on. And I think that's a very, very interesting pattern that has come up with there today, because that indicates to me that our thoughts of this high getting back in through September and October certainly being backed up there by the CFS. So that's something that I'm going to be watching really closely over the coming days. Okay, I've wasted enough of your time. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As I said at the beginning, don't forget that please tell your friends about us and spread the word. You can follow us on Twitter at WXWeb. But whatever you're doing, for now, keep the sun shining, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.